Ask Ash is a weekly show where I answer questions from you, my audience. This week, I'm answering a question from one of my patrons. I'd like to know the appropriate way for a non-binary, trans, or differently gendered person to react to being misgendered by an average stranger in passing, example, excuse me, blank when they really meant excuse me, blank, a coworker who's your superior, and your best friend. That is a fantastic question. Thank you so much for asking it. So, a lot of this is very dependent on the person's intent when the misgendering occurs, and what their relationship to you is, as well as their knowledge of your gender identity if it's still early on in transition. There are a lot of different factors to this question. What do you do when you're misgendered in passing by a stranger? When this happened to me early on in transition, I found that simply gently correcting them with a polite, "Oh, actually it's," fixed the problem 90% of the time. Most of these interactions are so brief that it's rare to really have much more of a follow-up when this occurs. In the work environment, however, these interactions can be pretty stressful. So what do you do when you're misgendered by a boss or manager? The answer to this question is a little more complicated because there are a lot of environmental factors. Let's say this misgendering occurred during a meeting and was not malicious. I would approach them in private at a later time and talk to them about it. Be polite, let them know your pronouns and preferred name, and keep the conversation open. Remember, it takes time for people to adjust these changes too. If, however, the misgendering was done maliciously, I would suggest discussing it with HR or someone you feel safe talking to so it can be addressed appropriately. Finally, what do you do if you're misgendered by your best friend? I would just straight up talk to them, gently remind them, and be understanding. They are likely upset or embarrassed by making the mistake. I have done this accidentally before, and I am trans myself. I know it can hurt from someone that is close to you, but like I tell a lot of folks starting out, when you transition, everyone around you will as well. This is a process that takes a fair bit of time to make it through. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Also, if you'd like to support me in my artistic endeavors, please consider donating to my Patreon at patreon.com/ashcoyote. Thank you so much. Goodbye.